Alrighty, folks. Um, Here in the shed, it's dark. Maybe you can see me, maybe not. I am trying out. I'm trying out a new camera here. Um, I'm gonna kind of test try on this video. Just gonna kind of see how the video looks here in the dark and how the audio does. This camera has a couple of different mics on it. So anyway, that said, I got a bunch of parts here. I have made my run to Tractor Supply and I've even got another bag full of fittings and pieces here. You wouldn't think, now there's some fittings here, some I already had that I'm not going to need, and then there's some I bought that I am going to need, but I'm not going to use everything here, but I'm going to use a lot of this. But you wouldn't have thought it would be this many fittings into plumbing this thing out, but it is. And I've also got the section control here. Been kind of playing around. I've already built a bracket. I painted it. It's hanging over on the tether still, but I've already made a bracket, and I know where I'm going to mount this on the back of the boom. I've just got to figure out how I want to plumb all this. I'm trying to use as few barbed connections like this as possible, and hose clamps. I've got an array of hose clamps here, brackets, bolts, but yeah, I got some more bags of bolts. I got some bolts that would go through this filter here, where I can mount that, which I'm not even sure I'm going to use that. But anyway, what was I getting at? Yeah, I'm trying to use as few barbed connections as possible in hose clamps, and trying to mount everything that I can here with this section control back on the boom, so I ain't got hoses and clamps everywhere. I'm actually going to have this valve, which I already had. There's going to be a T right here. This T, I don't have one open, I don't think, but anyway, there'll be a T on this end. This valve will be going to my returns to the tank. As you can see, I have bought another pressure regulator here. Now this will be the main pressure regulator. This will be acting as my bypass / relief valve. And you can see I've got a Hardy gauge that I had left over from my Hardy sprayer. And again, this is all just loose fitted. I'm playing with it a little bit here. This gauge will be going up on the front of the tank, so this will be my visual from the cab. I will also have a gauge in the cab on the control unit. This gauge will be more or less just a reference gauge for calibrating the sprayer and stuff from the back and setting this relief valve. But this port here will be my line running to the control unit in the cab for that pressure gauge. So I'm not sure this is how this is going to be fitted in the end, but I'm just playing around with it a little bit. Oh, here's a T. So yeah, that T will go here, kind of. Let's see, there's a 3/4. So this will go here. This will kind of go in here. I don't have another 3/4 laying out here, do I? Not open. There's one in this bag here somewhere open. There it is. But yeah, so I'll have basically this, it'll go up in there, this here. I'll have a valve here, like so. I will have a, well, yeah, that'll be a barb connection there, and there'll be a hose running over here to the relief valve, so it'll bypass the section control valves and run around over here and down. And then this guy's going to split out into another T, which will then go to 2 half-inch hoses, one going to my agitation here that'll be going up through the bottom of the tank, and then one return up there in the top of the tank. But anyway, yeah, so this is what I've been doing. I kind of had to sit down and figure out all these little parts and pieces that I would need to make this happen. So that's why you see so many here. But yeah, that is what I'm doing. This big piece, or these pieces here, I'm actually going to use, I had this valve here already. I'm going to take this quick connect off the back of this, and I'm actually going to pull these bolts out of this valve, drill holes in the frame down there, mount this thing to the frame, and this is going to be my fill port. And it's not going to be a very quick fill port because I'm having to reduce it down to an inch fitting. But I'll have this going to a T. My filter will also be connected into that part. And this will kind of hold all that. So yeah, just slowly thinking it through. So basically the next step, and I'm not going to start tonight, but the next steps are going to be to actually start plumbing all this together. I will be reusing this valve as well. That did come off the tank, so I didn't find any cracks in this yet. I may find one as soon as I put water in there, but who knows. But that'll be used as well. So I tried to make use of as many parts as I could, and then I had to go and buy a few more. I've got some 90 degrees for this. I was going to put filters on each section, kind of like the Hardy had. Now, the Hardy didn't have, say, this filter going into the pump. It was a centrifuge pump, so it did not use a filter on the input of the pump. So I'm going to have this filter filtering into the pump, but I'm not going to put any more filters on the sections. You know, I talked about doing that. So I'm just going to rely on the filters in the boom. I think for what I'll be doing with it, that'll be okay. It worked fine for me in the past, so just have to clean all those little nozzle filters occasionally. But anywho, that's something I could come back and add easily. I'm going to make sure I leave enough slack in my hose line to do that, to come off each one of these with the filter. But most of the filters, these are 1/2 inch ports. Most of the filters are 3/4 inch, and they're about $20 a piece. So unless I get online and find some cheaper, which I probably could do, but if I got them at Tractor Supply, you're looking at nearly $60 in three section filters here. So yeah. But anyway, that's kind of the update on the sprayer. You can see it. I got the tarp off of it and whatnot. I would show you my bracket and all, but it's over in the dark. So and since it's dark, I won't show you much else. But this is kind of where I'm at with it. Just thinking it through at the stage right now, making sure, because I wanna make sure the boom's gonna be running right behind this, or well, a piece of the boom, not the actual boom, but part of the frame will be behind this. So I'm gonna have to assemble some of this before I actually mount this up, so that I don't have a issue with turning and tightening things and hitting the boom. Like this pressure regulator is gonna have to go on there. everything's going to be screwed in and mounted as much as I can here before I actually mount it to the boom. So that's why I got it all laid out here. Just going to think it through, figure out exactly how I want it, then we'll mount it all up, tighten everything up good. I'm going to use some sealant, Kapton tape, not Kapton tape, oh good grief, I can't think of it. Oh, well, where is it? My Teflon tape, yeah. I got sealant, Teflon tape, and different things, so we'll seal it all up good and get ready to mount. But it should go pretty fast once I figure out how I want this. It's just mounting, screwing these things in, running hoses, tightening clamps. So that'll be the next thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope the video on this new camera turned out okay, and I'll update you on the progress of the plumbing of it. Will probably be next when I get there. So thanks for watching. See ya.